Recent Tartarians. Recent Tartarians.
But maybe that's about the point that we should start explaining a little bit about Sealandia. So Sealandia is a weird word, I guess. I want to really quickly preface this with my only understanding of Sealandia. I'm gonna do a really quick. Let me go look at this. Okay, so Sealandia. If I were to look up Sealandia when I was 2002, I was like 13 years old. And do my junior high paper on the principality of Sealandia, as I did. Yeah. I would tell you, like I did then, that Sealandia was the coolest, weirdest sounding country because it's a boat in the middle of the ocean.
It's actually in the mouth of the Thames. So it's actually pretty much UK territory, but no one can get there because the mouth of the Thames is really wide, and unfortunately these forts are not shown on Google Earth as they are here.
The mouth of the River Thames, that's what's called?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the mouth of the River Thames.
Oh, Google, thank you very much.
So, very strange place with energy plants galore at the mouth of the River Thames. Anyway, I was going to say really quickly before I ADD'd again, as I do. Principle of Sealandia, which was not recognized as a sovereign state until they opened fire on the German military who tried to board their vessel. And the German military said, hey, Britain, knock it off. And Britain's like, they're not with us. We broke up in the 70s.
They don't, unfortunately, they don't appear on Google Earth.
Yeah, well, that's
those lines.
This is their spot. This is their story, like in a spot that's just perfect for the United Kingdom to. And then they ended up saying, oh, but they're not with us, which meant that they could do whatever they wanted. And one of the interesting things is they've got servers that protect lots of files, you know, all kinds of files that you would want military protection for, including cryptocurrencies and apparently private collections of photos and media of some kind. So very strange is the principle of Sealandia. And then our friend Michael started finding more Sealandias.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go back to, where's this one at?
Suriname.
In Suriname, is that what you said?
Yep. Guyana, Suriname, French Guyana, and Great Big Brazil. But yeah, Sealandia. All right there.
So in this area here, there's an airport right there? Is that what it looks like? Go a little closer into that.
That's a small little airport.
Man, what a dense place. Suriname is interesting because where was it? It was controlled by the British and then also by the French and the Spanish. And
Dutch.
And then the Dutch.
The Dutch traded it for New Amsterdam, which is now New York.
Ah. They traded Suriname for New Amsterdam.
Yes.
Wow. Man, neither one of those turned out super great for the Dutch, by the way.
No, but then, hey, colonialism kind of sucked, didn't it? This this big old Starfort on TV or on Amazon recently with the guys from the Grand Tour.
Wow, look at that point right there. Very fantastic.
Which one?
Just right by the ocean. These points like that are just like too good. Because that's how you can tell. They were like, you know what? Save that part at least because we like standing there. My wife likes that pier. Something.
This is UNESCO World Heritage, so this is not getting demolished anytime soon.
That's kind of my favorite way of looking for things at this point. I mean, UNESCO is basically like, you know, Tartary that's basically it's all it is like a bunch of old things from Tartary. A lot of it, I'll give you, come on, pretty much 90%.
Oh, you want a nice example of one of these 4-point forts, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know Lake Maracaibo, the Lightning Lake. This one is featured on YouTube. 260 days of lightning per year, and look what sits at the entrance. I'm going fast again.
No, but that was cool. That was enough for that one. Thanks for that. I got it.
Oh, you mentioned the one in the middle of the jungle, right?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
And notice around where he's looking, guys, like, do you see how cut it is? Because they actually will go in there and monocrop, like cut out chunks of the rainforest. And that's literally just leveled parts of rainforest a lot of the time to make it easier for farming.
This is what they're doing to the Amazon, guys.
It kind of looks like that new military camouflage pixelation stuff.
It does digital camouflage, right? Yeah.
But it's real life.
It's definitely real life.
50 square miles at a time or more.
This is an airport. I didn't know that. But there you go.
Whoa, this is an airport?
Apparently it is, I think it's a helicopter landing place now or something.
Oh my gosh.
But it is called Príncipe de Beira Airport. So, yeah.
They must just low-key leave it there as a ruins.
And even that gets me searching, because I have a theory there's one that is always another, usually on the other side of the river. Didn't find much here, but this is a weird looking square that I noticed.
Yeah.
And there's this here area that is suspiciously cut out. I'm not saying these are locations for forts or anything, but these are
follow the lines.
Clues I go with to find them.
Yeah, I definitely want to check the Rio Bahia and the Bahia Negra, the Rio Negra in Paraguay, which is pretty close to that area.
Paraguay. I don't have any. I checked Paraguay for forts, but
yeah, Paraguay's rough, man. They're definitely tearing it apart right around there. Yeah, and also the top north where the Brazilian river runs through it. But yeah, all of that area has been kind of, they actually like flooded and they kind of done a lot to destroy Paraguay. If you know where the border to Argentina is, also there's like the Iguazu waterfall, and I'm pretty sure around there must have been stuff that's like.
These are the types of cities that do qualify for ancient citadels and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Located. I don't have anything here. Let's see if we can find any trademarks to this being. Doesn't really.
What's crazy, it's hard to tell as a European, but to me, I always think like cities like Rosario and is this Corrientes or where was this one? This is Misiones, Corrientes. I've been in all these cities, and like they're just so crazy because they look like some French 19th century Napoleonic. It just looks like a stone 3 stories tall and very neoclassical, and they have pillars, they have columns, and they're very dense. you know, and then you go outside of them and there's just a lot of nature. So it seems kind of interesting, like, you know, even in the rainforest, you'll have these very dense neoclassical Greco-Roman style cities.
And they're everywhere, aren't they?
Yeah. But the ones in Argentina are very Romanesque, it's true. And obviously there's the correlation with Italy. Having said that, like, just their capacity to build those things, if it's just because they escaped Italy, so they had more resources or something, they're able to build them in Argentina, you know, that's totally it's a reasonable thing. But looking at the structures and designs, it seems like there's more to it. I mean, just the fact that they're so spread out over Russia, North America, and Asia, and they just seem so much older in that period.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Is one of those cities that I suspect of having been much bigger, and as in located here. No confirmation whatsoever, but yeah.
How about, yeah, right in Rio? What do you got in Rio?
This one, which is concreted over.
Interesting. Slow down on that. Concreted over.
Well, it could have been made as in World War II fortification bunker.
Right.
That's what they did with the reimagined as a fish tank fort in my city of birth. The Germans concreted that over, and then I think a couple of years after I left the city, they made it into a fish tank. This one is a lot prettier.
Wow. Yeah, this is kind of like the Rosali. What was it called? The Rosali style.
And you can wonder here, right? You see these overhanging cliffs. Bunch of batteries here, a fort here. This is one of those cases where you can someone asked me, does the fortress move the mountain or the mountain move the fortress?
You ever hear that song Muhammad's Radio by Warren Zevon?
I might have. I'm not really good with song titles.
He's that guy who did, like, you know, Werewolves in London. Oh, Werewolves in London. Yeah. You'll find him. It's important.
This one is a little hidden, but
Jefferson Starship. Jefferson Star Fortress could be a new.
Jefferson Star Fortress.
That's a good name for a band. It's really good. And then what was the Star Fortress you found close to that down south of that mirror? Like I saw when you had. What was that?
Campeche.
Whoa. This is a very dense little spot. And yeah, look at those diamond points. Can you zoom in on those diamond points? Yeah. Tell me that that's just something that randomly happens all the time over the world in every culture. Tell me that that's a dragon. Because otherwise it's a unicorn, I'll tell you what. That's pretty random.
Awesome, isn't it?
And there's that many cases of it in every culture that it's like a universal thing that's beyond one culture. It's hard to say that this is really a bastion for it at this point. If it's in China thousands of years, Russia, Egypt.
Well, this is Bacalar in also in Yucatan Peninsula. Wonder here, right? You see these overhanging cliffs. A little tiny fort near Washington.
Washington D.C. Wow. And it's sort of off in the woods or by the water.
Well, it's called Washington because this is D.C.
Yeah. But it's just off in the water. It's not in the middle of the town, right? Like all these other ones. This is a big thing, is people say, "Oh, of course, Washington D.C. is made up of all of these patterns." But then, when you look to some of the random places that you see the patterns, like in the levees and the wood, you're like, "Wait, why did they flood over that area, or why did that area get overgrown, have a star fort?" Like clearly, there's something predating it. Predating the Washington D.C. architecture plan from the 19th century. So the Star Fortress Independence, Boston.
10,000 of these things. And I'm like, well, if there's 10,000, I got something to do. And some of them are even hardly recognizable anymore, but definitely fortresses. Yeah, destroyed. This could have been a fortress, and it's also a race course.
What are the Dutch doing building forts in Detroit? Was that a thing? I don't actually remember hearing the Dutch being in Detroit.
I don't know.
I don't remember Dutch Formosa in Detroit. Well, what's weird about that Starfort is it looks like, at best, a baseball court. You know, I don't see much going on with that anymore. It doesn't, you know, there's some maybe it's surrounded in some sort of dock-like buildings. I can't quite tell if by the dock, those are some sort of larger corporate or business buildings. Yeah, okay. But in general, that Starfort looks like it's just yeah, look at the ground around it. It looks like completely uncared for, unkempt.
Messy, isn't it?
This is fantastic. I think we need to like focus on the Detroit. What the heck? What can you try to come up with an excuse for this?
You wanted me to show one that makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean that one was that did that, but you have more. Go ahead. In the middle of Wales. Okay, so Dutch Welsh. All right. Well, you know, the Dutch have or the Welsh have been colonized for hundreds of years. So the Welsh, you can get behind. This makes sense that the Welsh weren't always, you know, they might have been at some point somebody who made Starforts. You can get with that. Ottawa County was originally populated by the Ottawa Indians. It wasn't until 1847 that Dutch Calvinist separatists showed up under the leadership of Albertus von Raalte. Seems like pretty late on to be building Dutch Starforts.
Well,
Quebec, eh? I mean, I can make fun of it, but I literally and just said A in earnest. So, I mean, I've seen enough Degrassi to know what it does to the mind. Whatever it takes.
I am sorry, guys. I am sorry. I just usually do this alone and not with somebody else, and I just go over these things really fast because, well, I've already seen them, haven't I?
I have the same problem. I think I'm learning, and I think when you watch the video, you'll do the same thing I did.
Well, apparently it's a helicopter base again.
That's so interesting that they become helicopter bases. Think about that. Like these Starforts,
Could they have been landing places?
they don't think of anything else to do with them, really. They're like, well, yeah, they land thing. I mean, right? That's just. It's like it's not out of the. It's not absurd. I mean,
No, it's far from absurd to think that these could have been landing places in ancient times.
I just even meant it's like whomever decided to use them as helicopter landing plates in the future, like or in the afterwards, it must have not seemed absurd to them. They didn't have. It must not have been a strange idea to them. You know.
Well, they are huge.
Well, yeah, but these are not like these are military people. You know. Like they would probably of all things to consider, like they would they wouldn't just do out of the blue things. It just I don't know. It seems very strange to me that it would be an original thought even. Have you seen that video of the anthropologists, showing the Indians when the helicopters left and they start worshiping the helicopter landing pads in the islands?
Yeah. The gods must be crazy. The gods must be crazy.
That was my favorite. I'm gonna watch that again.
Yeah, I'm taking nice pauses now, and everybody can see. The Starforts.
That is pretty good. I'm impressed.
Yeah, we're still in Canada.
What about around Nova Scotia, Greenland kind of region? What do you got? Newfoundland. All right, lots. There's just so many in all the areas.
Yeah, there is. That's the silly thing, right? There is so many in all the areas. They are all over the world, and I think I barely scratched the surface, man. I really think I barely scratched the surface. We'll go over to Paris in a second. It's a little less visible, but you can still see.
Where's this one? Cheddar Buktow. Wow.
Or Newfoundland. This is Nova Scotia.
Gotcha.
Halifax. This is in Texas, the Presidio.
We had to check out at some point Galveston.
I think I have something in Galveston. I think there is a bookmark in there.
There's a really interesting kid who did some, I don't know if he's a kid, there's a really interesting person on the internet who made a bunch of video about Galveston, made a really great edit.
What are your thoughts?
Well, they obviously destroyed this huge city that was, Dresden sized. I mean, looking at the pictures of it, it has all the trappings of Moscovian architecture before the Napoleon War. And energy, electricity, etc. That looks pretty convincing to me. I think that that's a great example of a demolished, scorched of the earth one. Can you zoom in a little bit of it?
It does bear a whole lot of hallmarks, doesn't it?
It does have a lot of hallmarks. I kind of feel like it's an example. I mean, when you see some pictures of Galveston, though, you'll understand why I'm pretty. I feel like it's pretty likely. The question isn't so much about it sounds like where we'll find them, because it sounds like they're everywhere. The question is which ones are left enough to be able to be seen, even after there have been so many societies turning them to powder, smashing them first with hammers, for hundreds of years, literally, and then people taking cannonballs and then getting more, crafty with destruction. Did you name this one? You don't name these, right? That's it? So Grand Terre is like that's what that island's called. So
yeah, so I name it Starforts in Grand Terre.
Very interesting. That's in Louisiana territory.
Right, you wanted the West Coast. I don't have a whole lot of stuff.
Anything in the middle too. What's that? Fort Union.
This one is pretty interesting.
What? Look at that.
But look at what they've done to.
Whoa.
Here. Look at what they've done. All these. It is reminiscent of those drawings, the Nazca lines. Especially if you start zooming out, they are everywhere, these things. But yeah, this is one Starfort for you, sir.
And then to the right of the building, you got an airport, or what the heck is all this stuff?
That's the old barracks of Fort Union, isn't it?
What is left of it?
that are suspected of being Reminiscent Guy, Golden Gate.
Right. It's been like I've driven. Is that my car? Jeez. That spot, there's a lot of architecture. It's pretty easy to see how San Francisco is the capital for this crazy architecture.
Presidio's a hint given by Armor on the Discord server. Presidios tie in nicely to fort locations or possible fort locations. As you can see here, these are defense batteries. And they stretch pretty much over the west coast. But I haven't found anything that really resembles a star in the west coast area at all. Like I have stuff, again, these are all batteries that could have been Starforts, but
considering how California's changed, it's pretty, Northern California is covered in sediment, but whoa, look at that. Acapulco.
So yeah, there are Starforts on the west coast of the American continent. I find new stuff every day all over the planet, and it's just a matter of where is my focus at that time.
One of the things I've been pretty interested in is right here in Peru, when you get to Lima. Yeah, I was going to ask you if you'd found this one because I'd walked on this one. Very good. Imagine how big that is. I mean, look at a bus next to it.
The bus next to it.
Area in the checkered, in the checkered.
Yes. This here, this people. Yeah.
Yeah. So you.
Yeah, the story on how this thing apparently survived a giant tsunami while the rest of Lima was pretty much gone.
Do you remember the earthquake? I mean, that's crazy to think about. Yeah.
this is sort of tied into this very nice other thing in Peru. But I think this could well have been a star fort, seeing as they worship the sun here. If you look at these lines, kind of reminiscent, aren't they?
What does it represent, and what is the power of it? I mean, clearly water bends when it hits bent pipes and bent, crooks and rivers and streams.
The funny thing is, going back again, sorry, it does the same, it displays the same behavior as most forts do, whereas one side of the fortress is not teethed. There's no teeth here, and they're all over here. If we take a big citadel, we wanted to go to Paris, right?
Indeed.
Paris, la cité d'amour. Bonjour. The evolution of a star fort in Paris. Okay, sorry, no pictures in 1949. This is 2001. And this is pretty much what it looks like now. Alas, in 2018, they decided to censor part of the fort because
Wow.
it doesn't like you looking at its star forts. It really doesn't. I'll go back to any year to find clues. As long as Google provides me imagery, I'll look through it. All right, most all of the Paris forts have been kept. You see, not a lot of demolished going on here. This one is gone. But you can pretty much still see all the pretty outlines of what used to be a star fort here.
A lot of these parks, they're former, especially in France, they're reclaimed military bases, right? That have been turned into municipal areas.
there's so much reusing of this stuff. Here you go, Samalo. People just still live in this fort.
Also, at the points of all these sort of like card deck like points, you'll see the circles. These watchtower like places. And that would make a great helicopter landing pad, it's true.
You see the returning hedgehog principle in this city with the little head, and this is the body. And that really is a recurring theme, even though they're all shaped differently. Most of these big cities, which then this is what I consider a big city, big walled city, have that returning in them, that pattern. And we go to Antwerp. There's not a lot to see of what is Antwerp now, but this used to be the head, and the city center was the body. All the forts around Antwerp, though, are still pretty much...
Here, hold on that one for a minute.
Yeah, I skipped over the previous one because it's not very interesting to look at. This one is better.
If you just play Super Mario 64, you can find Starforts pretty fast. Terraced star hedges everywhere.
Any countries you want to go to, because like it's all like I can keep showing you forts until, well, the cows come home. A bit mystifying. Even on the old maps, if you study those, China is a weird little place.
Go to that place called Star and Eye and those places.
Oh yeah, well I go over cities and then I find stars.
Wow.
So it's not really a star fort. I don't know if there ever was a star fort in this location to begin with, but yeah, this is...
Are you able to find this place years before this building was here?
Well, we can go back to 1984.
There we go. There's already like things that could be the corners of the thing, and they could have flattened the thing in the meantime.
Well, in 2006, they pretty much ruined our star.
Yeah.
Possibility of looking at it. 2002, yeah, this is a point.
It's kind of random, like that you would have found that. You kind of remote viewed this one. To destroy these things and hide them, you know?
Yeah, but Russia does the same. Only Russia is too big to destroy them all.
Right.
this is a suspicion I have of a fortified.
Right.
I found on an old map. This is the Forbidden City in Beijing, and it does hold to certain patterns. I mean,
It does, yeah.
if you look at the whole city and above, it looks like the 64 trigram buildup of the Buddhist faith.
Is there anything in Tibet?
I have something that looks like it could have been.
Oh man, that's definitely one. What? Look at it, and it's been demolished. Look at how it's been torn apart. Even.
Yeah, but this could just as well have been something that the Chinese.
Go deep. Wait, come back. Go deeper in there. Go deep. Go as deep as you can into the dig. Look at how they've dug it out. You're telling me that this line, with all of this picking at it, was not demolished in order to find what it was? I mean, come on. And look around it. There's like a trail. I don't know. What could it have easily been? Look at the barracks. It looks just like Fort.
I don't have any confirmation of this.
Do you have a photo of this one?
I'll take a picture.
Take a picture of this one and send me the GPS. I have some friends in the area. We could probably find out the history of what it was used for.
Recent Tartarians. Recent Tartarians.